Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make banana muffins, and this is what they look like. This muffin is moist and it has such a nice sweet banana flavor. It's really a banana bread in muffin form. So the first thing that you will need to do is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius. And then you will need a 12-cup muffin pan. Now, you could just butter the muffin cups or even spray them with one of those non-stick sprays. But today I'm going to line them with paper liners. And then, banana muffins, really easy to make. It's kind of dump and stir. So you don't need your mixer for this. We're going to do it all by hand. So in one bowl, I have put 1 3/4 cups, which is 230 grams of all-purpose flour. You may know that as plain flour. To that, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup, which is 150 grams of granulated white sugar. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon, 4 grams of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon, 1 gram of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon, 1 gram of salt, and then I just love cinnamon with bananas. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon, which is 2 grams of ground cinnamon. Now, if you're a person that doesn't like the flavor of cinnamon in your banana muffins, you can just leave it out or use a little less, but I like it. And it colors your batter a nice kind of golden brown color, which I like as well. And then I'm going to add 1 cup, which is 110 grams of chopped nuts. Today I'm using walnuts, but you could use pecans or hazelnuts or even almonds. And I did toast the walnuts first because it brings out their flavor. So what you do is just put your nuts on a baking sheet, put it in the oven for maybe 8 minutes. You can always tell when your nuts are baked enough, is you can start to smell them. And then take them out, cool them, and then I just coarsely chop them. Now, if you don't like to have nuts in your banana muffins, you can just leave it out. Or you could even maybe use some chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, or semi-sweet milk, or even, those butterscotch chips. I think those would be good too. So just stir that all together, easy enough. And then for our wet ingredients, in a bowl I have 2 large eggs. Have your eggs at room temperature. Now 2 large eggs by weight without the shell is 100 grams. So just whisk that to break them up. Okay, and then of course banana muffins, we need bananas. So you will need 1.5 cups, which is 300 grams by weight. How many bananas is that? You say, well, if you can, it's about 3 large, or I have this size, that would be 4. When you go to the grocery store, make it easy for you, you will need 1 pound, 450 grams of bananas with the skins. So that's how you can do it. Now, when you buy bananas, typically they're not like this. They're just the bright yellow. Sometimes you can buy them like this, but I find not anymore. Usually they're bright yellow, which is fine if you just want to eat them or, put them on your cereal or something like that. But for baking, we want them to turn brown like this, have lots of brown spots. That is when they are so sweet and they're nice and soft and they're just perfect for baking. And you can freeze bananas. What I do is just take the skins off, put them in a container or bag or something, and put them in your freezer for about a month. So then when you want a banana bread, banana muffin, you just take them out and do it. So just peel it. And this one doesn't, but if they have some brown spots, that is fine as well. So I'm just going to put all this in here. Now, you can mash them like with your hands, your fingers. I'll use a fork. Some people like to put them in their food processor, and you can do that, but just don't get carried away with the processing. You don't want it to become like a liquid. You want it to still You know, you want your bananas to still have a little bit, you don't want them liquid. A little bit of lumps of banana. I kind of like that in my muffins, so that's the only thing. You can do it in your food processor, but don't walk away. Okay, just gonna mash that. So that's about how I like it. Still kind of lumpy. I like it that way. Gives some texture to your muffins. So that's good. And then I'm going to add a half a cup, 113 grams of melted butter. I'm using unsalted. I prefer the flavor, and I also like to regulate, that way I can regulate the amount of salt in my muffin. But if you have a salted butter, you can use that. But then I would leave out that 1/4 teaspoon of salt that I added to my dry ingredients. So I'm just going to, and when you melt it, make sure it cools down before you add it in. It's going to add a nice buttery flavor to our muffins. And then I like to add 1 teaspoon, 4 grams of pure vanilla extract. That is for flavoring. So if you don't want a vanilla flavor, just leave it out. And stir all that together. And essentially that's that. I'm just going to pour the wet into the dry, mix it together, and we are done. The thing I like about, I make banana bread all the time, but what I like about the muffins, it's the same batter, but it bakes a lot, it takes a lot less time, maybe 20-25 minutes as opposed to, you know, close to an hour for a banana bread. So when you just can't wait, then you can make banana muffins. And also, you know, they're nice to put in the kids' lunches or a quick on-the-go breakfast. I don't know which one I like better because they're both good. Okay, just want to mix this until everything is moistened and you don't see any flour anymore, and then stop. If you get too carried away, you know, it can change the texture and make them a little tough, which we don't want. So that looks about right. I'm not seeing any flour, just kind of do it like this. Make sure. Okay, we're good. Move this out of the way. Now I'm going to fill my muffin pan. Now I'm just using an ice cream scoop. You can use just 2 spoons. That's perfectly fine. Just try to make sure that each one has about the same amount of batter. That's really the important thing, so that they all bake in about the same time. That's the only thing to remember. Okay, so last one. And then what I like to do is just take a spoon and even it out. And then what you can do is, if you have, like I do, a little extra batter, you can see which one might need a little more. Okay, that looks good, pretty even. So now, for baking, everyone's oven is a little different. You know, sometimes your oven can be running a little hot, a little cool, but I would say about 20 to 25 minutes. And I do like to rotate my muffin pan front to back about halfway through, so that way you get more even baking. So they're going to rise and turn nice, kind of light golden brown. And when you take a toothpick and insert it into the center, it will come out clean. So so that's maybe 20-25 minutes. So our banana muffins are done. They've risen nicely, dome tops, and a toothpick inserted into the center did come out clean. So I put your pan on a wire rack. We're going to let them cool maybe 5 minutes, and then just use your spatula to take them out of the pan. And then when we come back, we will try one. So now, let's try one of our banana muffins. Still a little warm. Oh, look at that, very nice. Get some chunks of banana and the nuts. You can have it plain, or sometimes if you want to indulge yourself, you can put a little butter over on your muffin. It's very moist. The banana, the mashed banana, really gives a nice moist texture. Plus a lot of flavor there with that banana, some ground cinnamon, the vanilla, and even the walnuts. Really, really tasty. I forgot to mention, when you buy your bananas, you know, I was saying you buy them and they're very yellow, but you want them to be more with the brown. Just let them sit on your counter, you know, take a couple days until they start turning brown, and then you can use them. So these muffins, excellent the first day, but you know what? I find you cover them, they're still really good for a day or two after that. And you can freeze them, so try these. And until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com.